Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my Yankee Votive Duo Box. Cute little Christmas box here using my favourite sweet, the Joyous Noel. And inside is just a simple box, and inside it's got two of these beautiful Yankee Votives, and if I can just tuck it out, hopefully you can see that it's got a little insert in there as well. And these are lovely little candles. They smell so nice. You could obviously either put in two the same, or you could choose to do two different fragrances. But as I said, it's a cute little box. It's really quite simple to make, decorated easily enough as well. Gorgeous glimmer paper under there just to add that little bit of Christmas bling, and then a simple knot tied bow on the top. As I said, I think it's quite cute. I'd be quite happy to receive more than one of these at Christmas. So I'm going to show you how I made it. So to start off with, we're going to be making the base, and I'm using Merry Mellow again on this one. And your cardstock for your base needs to be 12 inches by 4 1/4. So obviously you're going to need a 12 by 12 sheet for this. So it's 12 by 4 1/4, and that's 30.5 by 11 centimetres. We are then, it's alright, I'm just checking. I've done so many measurements today that my head is fried, and I'm thinking of scoring one thing and then I'm looking at scoring another, and it gets all very confusing. So I'm just going to quickly change my pokey tool here, or should I say take your pick tool. And so we're going to score, and I do apologise, I think I'm a bit tired today, and I think my words are just blurring into one. So if I start talking complete nonsense, just go to my blog and have a look, because it'll be explained on there. So we're going to score the short side at 2 inches. And then we're going to score the long side, and sorry, that would be 5 centimetres on the short, and on the long side we're going to score at 3 3/4, 5 3/4, 9 1/2, and 11 1/2, and in centimetres that will be 9 1/2, 14 1/2, 24 and 29, and that's for the base. So we're going to fold and burnish those score lines. I really have fallen in love with this colour. I wasn't so keen, you know, when I first saw the annual catalogue and I saw these additions of colours to the neutrals, I just thought, can't imagine I shall use that very much. But surprisingly, I actually have, and I love it. So we have a 2 inch here, and this should be 2 1/4 if my maths are correct. So we're going to leave the larger bit at the top, and from the 2 inch here, we're simply just going to cut up these bottom panels here. And then when you get to this skinny one on the end, we're simply going to cut it away. And just leave this as a very small wedge at the side. So then that's simply all we need to do for our base. So we need to add some adhesive. Now again, you can either use wet glue, or for a quicker and easier adhesive we can go with our tear and tape. So we're going to put a strip on that tab there. And then we also need to put some on the front. So this is going to fold round. So this will be the back. So then we will fold in the two sides, the back and the front last. So this one will be the front panel here. And I always kind of remember which one's the front, because it will be either side of these side bits. It's an easier way to remember. And it does seem to work on most things, but I would always fold your boxes up and just double check before you start sticking on adhesive and stuff. So that's that bit done. So we're simply going to take this a bit off here and fold it up. And then, as I said, we're going to fold the sides, the back, and then the last bit will be the front. So we're just going to take, if I can get at it, the tear and tape off, and then just simply close our box down, and that's the base of your box done. Very quick and simple. So for the lid, I'm going to use some grey granite. Whoops. And this one is 5 by 6 3/4 of an inch, which is 16.5 by 12 centimetres. And we're simply going to score with a little shim at 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. So that will be 3.5 centimetres on all 4 sides with your shim in place. Don't forget that. Again, just move this out of the way. Again, back in, we're going to fold and burnish those score lines. And then we're going to cut these side panels. It doesn't really matter which way round you do them, but we're just going to cut these 4 corners into little wedges. And I do like the fact that the Joyous Noel DSP has quite a few colours in it, so at least you can mix and match with, you know, soft suede, merry mallow, tranquil tide, grey granite, whisper white, and I think is it Sahara sand or crumb cake as well. So there's a fair few to go at with it. So again, then just on our bits here, we're going to add some more adhesive. And again, like I said, if you want to use wet glue, then that's entirely your choice. So we're just adding some bits on here. And then just for a little added security, I'm just adding a tiny bit, just a bit further down, to keep those tabs tucked in on the lid, because you don't want them to start getting in the way. I think that's a bit too big. Give that a bit of a trim. There we go. And then before we start sticking those on, we need to add our DSP. So we have a large piece for the top, and this is 3.5 by 1 3/4 inches, which is 9 centimetres by 4.5. And this one will sit just on the top. We have 2, they look different sizes then. We have 2 longer pieces here that are for the sides, and these are 3.5 by 4.25, which is 9 centimetres by 3, which sit on the side here. And then you have 2 more for your end pieces, and and these are 1 3/4 by 1 1/4, which is 4.5 by 3 centimetres. So just pop that on there. And then I'm not going to make this up just yet, because I want to make the insert that sits inside my base. So for this one, you are going to need a piece of coordinating cardstock, ideally, and this is 2 7/8 by 4 5/8, which is roughly about 11.3 by 6.8 centimetres, and we're simply going to score this at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides, which would be around 1 centimetre. So it is only a little bit. Out the way again. So fold and burnish. And then before I start cutting tabs and getting bits sticking out, I obviously need my circle punch that's going to fit my Yankee candles in, just so they can sit nicely. I'm using the 1.5 inch circle punch for this. And to be fair, all I simply did was I got the scored line here and I lined it up with the edge of my punch, and then I just very gently was mindful that I wanted it to come to about here. You can measure it if you wish. I just simply eyeballed it and hoped for the best. And if you are careful enough, although there's obviously a bit more of a gap this side, but that generally is how you get that to work. And then we just do our little bits here. So again, the 4 corners we're just going to cut our wedges out of. Again, doing it on all 4 sides. And as I say, these Yankee Votives just sit quite nicely just in this hole that we've punched here, just giving you that bit of clearance there, so they just fit just nicely inside. So get rid of my rubbish, and then that's handy, thank you, a little bit of tear and tape there from the previous bit. So yes, I'm just adding very small pieces. This is always the fiddly part. I do miss fast fuse for things like this. Just sticking on tear and tape on the corners. Obviously you can use wet glue. I don't have the patience to sit and hold it and wait a minute or two for it to dry, I'm afraid. So it is a case of let's just get it on and get it stuck. So again, just as you would your or as we would with the box lid, just simply just taking those adhesives off and folding it round, as I say, like you would a box lid or a box base. And then just do that on all of them. And then we're simply going to obviously pop this inside, and there is a tiny bit of space, but nothing that you would notice. And then I'm popping my 2 Yankee Votives. I actually don't know if these scents are still current because I've had these so long. They're my props that I use every time to make new things, and I just sort of grab the same ones and think, oh yes, I'll make something with those. So that's that bit done. And then again, just simply taking the backing off all of our bits of tear and tape. And again, you should know by now how I do my lids, so I should really be using my piercing tool, but I just thought I wouldn't today. Don't know why, probably because my brain's still tired and not working. Right, so that end I've stuck down. This one I'm not going to. I'm simply taking the backing off. Right, piercing tool's going to have to come out. Whoops. So just simply take the backing off both of these. See how much quicker it is with this? Ridiculous, why did I not do it sooner? And then I just slide that one end on, and then I kind of pull these bits very gently, not overly, because I don't want to stretch the card and bend it the wrong way. And then I tuck it in and make sure that it's flush against here, make sure that it's fully on the box, and then just pop my sides down. And again, just give them a little press just to make sure that adhesive's stuck. And there's my pretty lid. I love that. It's the DSP, isn't it? I think that bit of copper just makes it look lush. So to decorate my box, I need, let's just stick my snail under there so you can see that at an angle. So I've got my 1 1/4 and my 1 inch circle punch. My 1 1/4 is for some of this gorgeous Merry Mellow glimmer. I seriously can't get enough of this. I love it. I then need my 1 inch and some Whisper White. and I didn't get it out, but thankfully it's not a million miles away, my Merry Mellow ink pad, and I just want Merry Little, look how much love this has had, it's just all coming unstuck now. Merry Little Christmas, which will go onto my very dirty block, I'm ashamed to say. I've been so busy recently that I've not even had time to clean these blocks. So just simply stamping that on, give that a little clean, put it away, don't put it down, put it away, put that away, put that away. 1-inch circle punch, which just fits this just nicely. And again, I didn't want to add a ton of, you know, holly leaves and berries and stuff like that, because it just, I think sometimes less is more. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me with that. But no, I sometimes just think that you don't need to overstamp things, and sometimes simpler is better. And again, I want this DSP to do the talking, not my stamping, because I love it and I want people to say, oh, that's gorgeous, I need some. And then they can come and buy some from me. And then they can follow my projects and hopefully make some nice gifts for people. So I'm not going to mess about putting any more adhesive. So again, as you saw, I've used tear and tape because I do find that snail doesn't have enough grip on the glimmer paper. So I use snail. If you're going to use wet glue, it does need a little minute or two to stick. So there's that little thing on there. And then I just need to put my bow on the top. And the way I do this is I get a smallish length like that. And then I go for 2 similar sized lengths. I then need some of my beautiful tear and tape, which I put across one end of my ribbon strips. And then you carefully take that backing off and then just wrap this round on itself and adhere that together. So you've basically got this circle, and then where the join is, you fold them flat, and that is what gives you these loops. So I'll do the same on this one. So backing off, and obviously it will be all dependent on how long your pieces of ribbon are. You see that one, actually I might be too short. Oh, maybe not. Let me just see, I've probably gone too short with all of this, but no, it's too short. You get the idea. So we're going to go with some longer strips this time. So let's go with that one, and that. Right, so very quickly then, 2 bits of tear and tape across the bottom. That's too much. Got tear and tape stuck to me now, get off. So again, we're doing exactly the same as I did on that previous one. Just these ones are obviously a bit longer. So that's that one. And then that's that one. And then add a piece across the bottom here. And then we put the join at the back centre, again on top, the join centre back, and then you sort of have to be a little bit of an octopus here, but we take this and wrap that one round to touch, and then obviously I've got a little bit extra there that I'm just going to use as a bit of a placement, and then I'm going to trim that and hopefully that will hold very briefly while I do some more on here. A little bit like we used to do with the bow builder punch, if anybody remembers that. Wonderful little punch. Just make sure you've got everything lined up when you wrap this round, and then again if you've got some excess just trim it. And there is your little bow. Now I did find that adding a glue dot underneath this bit just stops it all slipping and sliding, and it will hide, you won't see it. And then again just that tiny last bit wherever the end's gone on the back here. And obviously this now, when I can get the back off, come on, come on. It's always harder when you're doing it with ribbon. Backing off, there we go. And then just pop it on the top of your box. And there you have your 2 Yankee Candle Votive boxes. And obviously if you just sort of play with your bows until you've got them right and you've got your loops right, but as you can see, super cute, super pretty, and I think anybody would be happy to receive one of those. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget you can purchase all the products from my online store. The link is below, and there's also one on my blog and on my Facebook page. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.